Howdy everybody, Mike McCoy here. Finally back. I've been a little sick, a little puny, but fortunately I'm getting over it. Hope we're getting this cancer beat back. And today, I thought I'd tell a little story. When me and my wife bought this place, we'd been living in town for 10 years. And we was young and we wanted to get back to nature. We hadn't, I think we had the old sawmill there. Well, I know we did. And we decided to buy us 2 pigs. Well, we decided to buy us 1 pig. Let me get us started at the beginning here. We bought this 1 pig, and it's sort of on the spur of the moment thing. We didn't have nowhere to put it. What did we put that thing in? A doghouse?
Yeah, in the front yard.
Yeah, in the front yard here.
Put an electric fence around it.
Yep. Electric fence around it so we couldn't get gone. And I think it's the next day we built a pig pen, didn't we?
It was on Sunday.
On Sunday. We done split running. Built it out there in front of where our shed is now. I don't even think there's a shed there now, or a garage. Drug it down there and put electric fence around it. Put that pig in there. We had arrived. We was officially hog farmers. And just a day or 2 after that, old boy come by here. I knowed him. He said, "I want that pig." I said, "You do?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I've got her sister." He said, I'll trade you a male pig. It's been fixed for her. It's probably a little bigger than she is. But said, I want him to breed. For he had a bunch of hogs. So I just traded with him. A big old white hog. I just tickled to death with my hog. I'd go down there and feed him and pat him on the hind end and tell him how good them hams is going to be this winter. Mary Ruth said it worried him to death. For I went down there one morning, boom, Mary lay deader than a mackerel. And there's a place up there in Asheville you could take them, see what killed him. They said an ulcer killed him. So there I was with no hog. So I went back to the old boy I traded with. And I said, "I want to buy that hog back." I said, "That whiting died." He said, "Well, the only way I'll sell her to you is sell her and her sister." Well, this is where the tale of 2 pigs come in. I had to buy 2 to get 1. Well, we brought them here. Put them in the hog. And they just flourished. That white hog didn't eat a whole lot. He just didn't. And gosh, them 2 would just fight one another over food. Never seen nothing eat as much in all my life. It seemed like every day I was going out here at the feed store and buying 50 pounds of feed. We was going broke on hogs. There's no telling how much money I spent on them 2 hogs. And, once you get past the ham and the shoulder, they ain't much less fit to eat, maybe a little side meat. But anyway, come hog killing time. And we go down there. I take a 55-gallon barrel and fill it up with water. We go down there at 5 o'clock that morning, light a fire under it. We'd put some pallets down there. And we're going to have a hog killing. Now this is where it really gets interesting. I go down there with my little .22 rifle and hunting knife. One of them sows sticks her head out there and I pop her right between the eyes. Bang! She rolls over dead. Well, I started cutting on her throat. Wasn't no blood coming out. And I thought, oh my God, what's going on now? She's supposed to bleed. Well, it dawned on me, I'm cutting on the wrong side. So I went the other side and started cutting. Sure enough, she bled. By this time, I'd just about cut her head off. Well, you had to go back there on her back feet and cut right in front of them tendons and put in what they call a gambling stick. And if you've got a tractor or somewhere picking one up, you pick it up like that and take it wherever you're going to scrape it. And that barrel of hot water and pallets and stuff is probably about 50 feet from where I killed it. So I take her up there and lay her down on them pallets. And Mary Ruth and Chad start scraping. And Chad couldn't have been over 10 years old, if that.
No, he wasn't.
Mary Ruth looks up at me and she says, "Ain't you gonna help scrape this hog?" I said, "I don't scrape hogs." Gosh almighty, that made her mad. It's just like you'd stuck Mother in the hind end with a needle. She jumped up from her, had this huge butcher knife. And she said, "I can tell you one thing, waving that knife around like it's a sword. You can turn that and loose, you can do whatever you want to, but I ain't helping kill another hog." So, her and Chad finally gets that thing scraped, but I never did see her daddy scrape a hog, and I figured, well, I was sort of taking his place, you know, for his always wanted shot it and all that stuff.
He scraped them too.
Mary Ruth swears up and down he scraped them, and I guess he did.
Well, he did.
But, oh Lord, she was mad by that time. Well, they got it scraped. We pick it back up again. I had an old tractor there. Had a boom bow up. Comes time to gut it. Well, I'd seen her daddy do it, but personally, I hadn't never done it. And it dawned on me, I didn't know what I was doing. But it didn't stop me. So I start gutting that thing. And I almost immediately puncture a gut. That's a huge no-no if you're butchering a hog. Next thing I know, poor little old Chad's laying over there, sicker than a dog off the smell of that punctured gut. I mean, he was laying down. I thought, oh Lord. We had a water hose down there, and I washed all that poo off and stuff. Come on down there, and Mary Ruth said, "Now, there's somewhere that you got to take a knife and a hammer and cut a bone." This is the breastbone, wasn't it?
I think.
We done that. Just rolled them guts out in a big old tub there. I took a water hose and I washed it all out and got that meat good and clean and everything. And did we lay it back down on them pallets?
Yeah, and then we cut it, you know.
We laid
You
it
gotta
back
cut its
down.
hams off and its
Should have took a water
shoulders.
hose. Mother took a water hose and washed all that hair off that
No.
pallet and had them good and clean. And we laid it down there and commenced cutting that thing up in pieces. And we done a fairly good job, I thought, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And big old hams. Well, we went up there. And we'd built a brand new smokehouse too, and I had 50 pounds of salt. And we salted all that stuff down. Had tenderloin for supper that night and got his good. Well, went down there to see about killing that other hog, and she was in season. She was in heat. Couldn't kill her. Trying to think, Mother sort of got over her mad spell. I don't know. We couldn't kill 2 hogs that day, no way. We just wouldn't have been able. We was wore out. But anyway, was out the store just a day or two after that. And there's old boy out there, and he kills hogs and dresses deer and stuff like that. You take it to him, he'll do it, you know. And I thought, well, I'll just see if he'll do it. And I said, will you butcher my hog? And he said, yeah, be glad to. And I said, well, she's cutting up right now. I said, how long we have to wait? And he said, 30 days. I said, well, as soon as 30 days up, I'll call you and you can come do her in. He said, okay. Well, the 30 days got up, and he said, the only thing I want you to do, I want you to have a place to scrape her. And I'd left that pallet there in that 55-gallon barrel. And me and barrel of hot water. I said, we'll do it. So we went down there and built a fire on that barrel, and here he showed up about, I think, what was it, about 8 o'clock? It was whenever he said he would. He goes down there at that hog pen. He had a .22 rifle, I swear. You couldn't lay your finger on it somewhere if they wasn't a scratch spot. And he had one of the wickedest looking hunting knives I ever seen, or butcher knives. Well, he goes down there and lets that electric wire down, and he puts that knife in his mouth like a pirate. Grabs that hog by the ear, shoots it between the eyes, cuts its throat and has it bleeding, and cuts tendons on its back leg before I could get the set down on the tractor and let the lift down. Really. We bring that thing up there and lay it on that pallet, and he comes out with, I imagine it was a machete. He was hair going every which way. He scraped that thing by himself in what, 15 minutes?
Not that long, probably. It didn't take him long.
I ain't never seen a beat of it in my life. Hoisted it back up. He rolled its guts out. Took a big old saw and sawed it from one end to the other and made 2 pieces, put it in the back of his truck and said, I'll call you about 5 o'clock and you can come and get it. I said, okay. About 5 o'clock he called. He said, I've got it chilled and wrapped in freezer paper. And her mama wanted half of it. And I think we had told him that we had half of it. So I said, how much do I owe you? He looked at me and said, $20. Mary Ruth looked at me and said, I'll kill you. I don't see how he done it for $20.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah, but this is like in 1987, 88,
I guess.
somewhere along there. But I mean, it was still cheap, I thought. And that's the story of my 2 pigs. The tale of 2 pigs. And they was good that winter, but gosh, I could have took what money we spent on them things and bought enough hog meat to go for 10 years probably. So that ended her career as hog farmers. I think her next big adventure was we bought some calves, didn't we?
I don't know. We had them chickens.
We had chickens. That didn't work
Most
out.
of them was roosters. You decided you was going to kill about 5 or 6 of them, and I was down there and I had, it was a mess.
Oh, it's terrible.
You get all this stuff and then you won't do nothing with it.
Well, I've got you, Mother.
No.
But
That ended the killing the chickens too.
I chopped their heads off for you. But I didn't pluck them.
You didn't do nothing else to them.
I didn't know what to do, for I ain't never been a chicken plucker.
Lord have mercy.
Then I think we got some calves. And she finally wound up with goats, and you probably kept goats for 10 years, didn't you?
Yeah.
She liked her little goats.
Except for dehorning them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't dehorn them. I had to dehorn them, and I didn't like it. I wouldn't do that no more either.
Yeah, dehorning them. I just ain't.
We ain't
I ain't
farmers.
cut out for that kind of work, Mother. I'm more of a mechanic than I am a blood and guts type fella.
Yeah.
But now we ain't got nothing but the skits and the big black dog down there. Show him, Mother. He looks like he's awful uncomfortable.
I can't see him, I don't think, but he's upside down. He lays on his back half the time. He's a good dog. He's a sweetheart. We don't need nothing else. That's all we need.
That's all I want. I don't want no more livestock.
I can't kill nothing. I can't eat after I kill it anyway.
I can
Or
eat
after
tenderloin off a
after you
hog,
kill
that's
it.
about it. And ham, you know, but that having to buy all that feed, it just ain't worth it. But
Hard to eat something other when you know it by its first name.
yeah, they name this stuff and then it's just bad. Well, I'll get off from here. It's good talking to y'all. I'll try to get a nutting out, not be as long as I have been, but it's just been one of them things. Talk at you later.